Morning, everyone. This is Nancy here, trying to make sure you can see my video here. Maybe you can just hear my voice. Anyways, welcome. And I love that music. It kind of gets me pumped. So typically when we do live video streams, we've done them later in the day, but we realize that's kind of been later for the East Coast. So we're trying to change things up a bit here. And now we're doing one that's 8 a.m. on the West Coast. That's where we're at. We're out in California. And so we wanted to maybe try and hit things a little bit earlier for those of you in the East Coast that might be watching. There we go. I think you guys can see me now. So welcome. So today we were planning on doing a little bit of an update on opportunity zones. So I'll give you a quick brief overview on that. I think we've done enough webinars or information about opportunity zones. I don't want to repeat myself here. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, definitely go to our website. That's crowdfundinglawyers.net. And on there, we have a number of videos explaining in more detail about opportunity zones, what they are, how they came about, how to invest in them, rules involved with them. But the short 30-second type answer is basically the government has designated certain zones throughout the United States and Puerto Rico and U.S. territories as opportunity zones. And these are areas that are economically distressed, and they've designated these zones in such a way that if you invest capital gains into these zones, you get some tax benefits. So it's a really great program. It's helping these communities that need some capital flowing into it to help them grow. And it also is a great place to go and invest if you have cap gains and want to get some tax benefits. So it's got bipartisan support, been a really great program. So it's been moving forward since 2018. In the beginning, not many people knew about it. We get a lot more calls about it now. Just before COVID hit, we were getting a lot of interest. And then in spring of this year, everything everyone hit the pause button, not knowing what's going to happen to the economy, what to do. And now things are starting to pick back up again. The thing with opportunity zones is you want to think about whether you have your own capital gains or if you're trying to find investors, or you know investors that have capital gains and they want to stick it into the opportunity zones for their tax benefits. That's a really good selling point for getting that. So I wanted to just come on here today because there's been some updates to the rules surrounding opportunity zones. And that's all because of COVID. The government recognized, hey, there's a lot of timelines and deadlines associated with opportunity zones, and they're very strict deadlines. And if you miss them, you miss out on your opportunities. And so the Treasury realized, with COVID, a lot of things have been delayed or stalled. And so people might be missing these deadlines, and we don't want that to impact the program. So they have come out with some updates for us to kind of help move the program along, or give people who are already in the program a little bit of leeway, and to make sure that COVID doesn't affect it as much as they can at this point. Now, there may be more updates in the future. We don't know, but I can at least today tell you what we do know. As I go through these updates, I'll try and reference a little bit of the original rule. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. So again, go back and check out some of our other videos if you want to learn about a specific rule, or if you know of a property and it's in an opportunity zone and you want to know more about those benefits, definitely call and let me know. We'll chat about that. Or if you have capital gains and you either want to invest in your own property, or if you're looking for an existing opportunity zone fund, I can make some introductions. So if you want to know more, let me know. Okay, so we'll jump into it. There's really 5 things that I want to touch on. The first one starts with the penalty. So when you're running an opportunity zone fund, you have to do financial reporting every 6 months to make sure that you're complying with the rules. And the main rule you want to look at is 90% of your assets have to be invested in opportunity zone funds. Well, they have said for 2020, if you don't meet that threshold, they're going to waive the penalty, which is great. For anybody who maybe was trying to find a property to invest in and they haven't been able to make those deals close yet for whatever reasons caused by COVID, or if you are in a property, but maybe you're not able to progress as quickly. Anyway, so just as a break to everybody, they said no penalty in 2020. Now, for next year, so far, you still need to plan on hitting those benchmarks, but you do get a little break for this year. Another big one is if you have capital gains or your investor, you have 180 days from when you receive the capital gain to invest it into an opportunity zone fund. If you don't make it to that 180 days, or if you don't make it before the deadline of that 180 days, then you completely miss out on this opportunity. And so a lot of things happened with the stock market as COVID was hitting. People were losing a lot of money. People were pulling their money out, not knowing what to do with it. And so they've actually extended that deadline for this year. So the way the timeline works is any capital gain that was incurred, I'm going to make sure I'm getting my dates right, on October 4th, 2019 or later, up through the beginning of this year, you actually they even extended it more. Normally you would have had to get your capital gains into an opportunity zone fund by April. But they said, you know what, we're going to extend that. And first they extended it to July, and then they extended it to the end of this year. So basically, anybody who has received gains from October 4th of last year through June 1st of this year, you have until the end of this year to get it in. So if you're worried, hey, I had these gains and I didn't do it in time, or I just wasn't ready to invest, you actually have a little bit more time to get them in. So if you have those cap gains, or your investors do, definitely still explore that as an opportunity. Okay, another one is when you are running an opportunity zone business, you have to have basically a written working plan of your budget and what you're going to do. And it's a 31-month plan showing how you're going to use all your funds. Well, even before COVID, they gave some options to extend that up to maybe 62 months. If you're able to meet certain circumstances. And then now with COVID, they've extended that another 24 months. So I think in total, you can do almost up to, 86 months of extending that plan from the original 31. So that's a lot of leeway and time to get that working capital spent into the right assets. So just something to keep in mind. It just provides you a little bit more time if that's a concern for you. Okay, the last two, let's see, we'll start with if you happen to already have a property in an opportunity zone fund before COVID hit, or within the last 2 years, there is this rule that if you sell that property, you have 12 months to go out and find another property in an opportunity zone and reinvest, and you get to maintain your status as an opportunity zone fund. Normally, if you sold your property, your fund's done. But this was even before COVID. They said if you get your 12-month period of time to go and reinvest, and you can keep your fund going and maintain your benefits, which has been great. Well, obviously now with COVID, it's hard to maybe find properties, or getting that process through, buying and selling is taking a lot longer. So the Treasury has now said you've got another 12 months. So if your 12-month period falls within this year, when you would have had to reinvest by, you get to extend that another 12 months. So if you happen to have been somebody who's already sold a property in an opportunity zone fund, you can have a chance to keep looking to reinvest that. The last one that I think is really good as well, with opportunity zone funds, when you buy a property that's already existing, you have to double the value of the structure on that property, and you have 30 months to do that in. So let's say you bought something last year, you would have this 30-month period to be investing in and improving that property, that structure on the property. And so again, they recognize the challenges that are going on. So they've actually told or paused the period from April of this year to December of this year. So it's kind of like either you just put a pause button on and then you start it again in January of next year, or you can look at it as you have an additional 8 months. 9 months? Am I doing that right? 6? Anyway, I got to get the exact date. Let's see, April 1st through December 31st. Okay, so yeah, you've got your 8 months. So that is going to be, I think, crucial for anyone who's purchased a building or is looking at purchasing a building this year. It buys you a little bit of extra time to go ahead and double that value. So those are the updates for now. I'll keep you posted if any more come. And if you want to know anything else about opportunity zones, just reach out and let me know. It's Nancy Tech, or you can email me at my name's right there on the screen. Make sure you get the double E. But my email is nancy@crowdfundinglawyers.net. We can always go to our website. We have a scheduling page there, and I'll do a free 15-minute consultation if you want to get some more information about it. So thanks. Hope you guys have a good morning. And we got some questions. Great. Someone's actually, I wondered if we would be too early for doing this at 8 a.m. on the West Coast. But okay, so a question we have is, how much is the penalty for not complying? So there's actually a worksheet that you fill out, and it depends on how far away you are from meeting that 90% threshold. And so you fill out this financial form. It's a little bit more in detail, but with that, what happens is you pay a monthly penalty for every month you aren't hitting that threshold. So if you can get it back up to that 90% within a month, you only pay for 1 month, but it's going to vary based on how many assets you have and how many of those assets are in opportunity zone property. And so definitely, if you're going to do this, you need to have a CPA on board that understands opportunity zone funds, because you're going to be filling out tax forms and financial documents, and they need to understand the rules around that. So if you need referrals for that as well, I'm happy to provide that. Yeah, are there any other questions? Let me know. And if you missed this live video, definitely you can go ahead and throw a question in the comments later, and I will try and go back and respond to as many of those as I can. So let me check one quick thing. Copy of the recording. Okay, I think that's all our questions. All right, thanks everybody for joining in, and hopefully I'll get to talk to you soon.